Hi friends, it's Molly with Soul School Tarot and Astrology. I'm here with you guys today for a collective general reading for my Libras out there. So Sun, Moon, Rising, Dominant, maybe you got a 7th house stellium, however you identify with Libra energy, welcome aboard. Like, you don't really have to be a Libra to be here today. I'm glad that you guys decided to join me. Welcome to my channel. If you are new, if you're not new, welcome back. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of keep shuffling this deck. This one is talking to us. All right. This is actually my second attempt at this. I had to remove Frederick, my cat, from the premises because he would not get off of this table and just let me do my reading. It was really distracting. So welcome, you guys. This, like I said before, is a general reading. It's also timeless. So it may or may not resonate with you. Relationship roles can be switched, but what I was trying to get to in the introduction last time I was recording is that what we've got here, what's forming on the table today is a message that is about relationships, but not so much about a particular relationship as it is Libras going within to come to a much bigger understanding of what they want and need out of relationships. And it's a really gorgeous energy. All right. So before I get into it, I do want to say, if this reading doesn't resonate with you for some reason, or even if it does, if you guys want to get a personal reading from me, yours truly, all the information you need for that is in the description box below. I do have monthly 15-minute personalized readings that you guys can get for only $17 a month. So if you guys want to subscribe to that, like I said, you'll find the link in the description box below. Let's get back to your message. So as much as they are timeless, it does occur to me that at the time of this reading, Mercury is retrograde in Aquarius. Aquarius is another air sign Libra. In fact, we have a new moon in Aquarius coming up. And the energy that brings in for our Libras is that it is allowing you to gain some sort of perspective on your own emotions. And I really feel like on your wants and needs. All right? Okay. Hold that thought and we'll get into what's on the table. The combination of decks that came out is kind of pointing me in the direction that, like I said, it's about your wants and needs. It's about what's going on internally with you right now. All right. And the dynamic that I'm seeing at play is one that goes like this. A lot of times Libras, and don't blame yourself for this, okay? It's kind of like when you're born a Libra, it's not just like their creator was like, all right, you're going to be this way. It really means your creator is putting certain paths or certain obstacles, certain lessons on your own path to master in order to step into an evolved Libra energy, right? An evolved Libra energy is very, very much about balance. So let me get this out right now, okay? But Libras, partially because of being born under the sign of Libra in some way, shape, or form, and partially because we have a society that shapes this narrative within us, can sometimes have a tendency to, like the way that their sense of self is formed is very much formed in relationship to how they interact with others, okay? So in other words, some of you were raised to believe or have been conditioned in some way, shape, or form to believe that you're defined by your partnerships. And you're starting to take a step back and say, ooh, I see how to put the chicken before the egg when it comes to that, all right? Because some of you are beginning to understand that this is a dynamic that you can take control of, rather than being like, well, all right, this is the relationship that is in my life, therefore this is who I am as a person. You're trying to flip it to, no. I know who I am as a person, and I'm going to attract to me relationships that resonate with who I am, rather than trying to define myself by the relationships that I end up in. Does that make sense? We're flipping the script, okay? You're taking the cart and you're putting it behind the horse, because that's where it actually goes, all right? So as a Libra, it's hard to get away from that dynamic where your sense of self is defined in some way, shape, or form by the relationships that you have with other people. But you're beginning to understand that rather than just accepting the external reality of the relationships that you attract, you can take control of the relationships that you attract by holding yourself in balance and alignment with your true self. All right. So in other words, you're maybe coming out of a caterpillar stage, right? Caterpillars and butterflies move through the world in very, very different ways. And if I had the choice between scooting around on my belly or flapping my wings and flying, right? We would all prefer to be a butterfly, okay? And that's what you're becoming right now. I feel like you're still kind of in a little bit of a cocoon phase, or maybe you're coming out of the cocoon phase. This is definitely the result of some introspection and some healing that's been going on. So now you're like, I see the beautiful butterfly that I am and that I'm capable of being. And I don't want to match with anybody who's not also a butterfly. So basically, you're no longer taking offers from caterpillars. That's the lesson. You're like, wait a second, self. If I want to be a butterfly, I got to quit messing around. I got to quit accepting offers from caterpillars. That is the realization that you're coming to. And it's actually, it almost feels like just before this happened, okay, that I think all of this realization, all of this introspection has come out of a need to heal, a need to move away from a not so good situation, get some distance from it, be able to look back over your shoulder and maybe understand it a little bit better, okay? Spirit's saying you're still in that process, and that's why I feel like you're still in the cocoon phase, so to speak. All right? Once you're there, you will have the perspective of a butterfly, right? So all of this love of self and understanding that you have the power to attract to you your perfect match by simply waking up every day and being a perfect match to yourself. You're getting there, all right? And it's so exciting because when we have a history of caterpillar relationships and we're like, but I know myself to be a butterfly. We can get caught in the trap of telling ourselves that narrative. Well, it always ends this way. Love always goes this way for me. Okay? So there's a maturity in this. There's a responsibility in this. They're saying, well, maybe maybe the common denominator in all of those relationships was me. Maybe there's something I can do differently to make sure that the relationships I'm attracting in my life are very much in alignment with me. But I feel like this is coming out of a period where you had almost given up hope. Right? You were losing yourself to the narrative that love never works out for you, or that it always ends this way, or your heart always gets broken, or you never this, or you never that, right? That's an easy narrative to get stuck in, and you're breaking out of it. Okay? This new realization about the role that love plays in your life has got you hopeful about love again. And you guys, the 6 of Swords is a 6. Okay? That's Laura Mar. I don't know if I told you guys this before. Like I said, this is the second time I recorded this. But also, sometimes when I'm in the flow state and I'm channeling, like I literally don't remember what I said 5 minutes ago. The reason why it's significant that these decks came out to me is we started with the True Love reading cards, which says to me, all right, Libra needs to hear about love. But then the Tarot, Gemstones, and Crystals, there's no people in this deck. It's just a bunch of rocks. It's a bunch of energies, which says to me that you are beginning to look at yourself within. You're not having this, you're not examining a particular relationship between you and another person. You're just looking at yourself, okay? And it's beautiful and I love it, all right? So we have the Lovers and the Star, all right? The Lovers is 6. The 6 of Swords is a 6, and this Soulmates, to me, it's just very much a 6 in my mind, all right? These cards don't have numbers, but that's what I'm feeling. You're beginning to understand that when you maintain that balance within, then the only thing that can happen out here is something that's in balance, a love that is in balance, okay? So you guys have new hope about what your future holds for you. And there's a King of Coins energy here, which says to me that you are, I'm getting the word propriety. Propriety goes on a little bit with responsibility, all right? But you're really taking propriety over your life. And what you're saying is, not so fast, caterpillar. I have achieved within myself a certain amount of balance. So this is what you are hypothetically saying to anybody who wants to approach you with an offer to have a relationship at this time, okay? What you're saying to yourself and possibly to them is, I found this balance within myself, and I'm not trying to move towards anything that's going to pull me out of that balance. So what you're looking for is that the person that approaches you has to have this balance within themselves as well. Because you know that you've worked hard to get yourself where you are right now. There's my dryer. And you're not trying to move out of that space. So in order for somebody to step into your space, they have to be able to help you maintain that. Basically, they have to not throw you off. Okay? You know that you are capable. And how valuable that is. That King of Coins. How exceptionally valuable you are as a partner because of your ability to maintain that internal balance. Right? You're going to be a great asset to somebody else who's in this energy. And that's what's beautiful about it, is like you attract what you are. And we got manifestation. Okay? To me, manifestation card coming out with Soulmate and Yin Yang, these are all about duality, right? Bringing two things into balance. And by the way, when I was shuffling this deck, there were a lot of cards, like in this deck, there's a card that says like divine feminine, distorted feminine, divine masculine, and distorted masculine. And that really made me feel like you guys are, part of what you're bringing into balance is your inner masculine and feminine energies. That those are very important to you at this time. Okay? But you understand the value. Like you invested in yourself in order to get to that place. And you're not trying to let somebody else come in and sweep that away. Yeah, because that's not sustainable. We got the 10 of Coins reversed here. We got a lot of just weird nervous energy, and that's okay. Ooh, okay. Interesting. All right, so for some of you guys, this King of Coins represents what you're wanting to move towards in a partner, as well as the energy that you are vibrating from at this time, okay? Because it makes sense. As within, so without. You're trying to call to you your perfect match, right? And you're realizing, I think in the past, you went for more of a King of Cups type energy. Somebody who can engage on the emotional level, but not necessarily somebody who's the best at committing and being grounded. Because anybody who's in the suit of cups, which is water, okay? Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, potentially, but anybody could carry this energy, and it could be a masculine or a feminine, all right? Water's very flowy. Water's very, it can be still, but if it's still, it's deep. You don't always know what's under the surface, right? With a Coins energy, like a Pentacles energy, you know what you can count on, right? It's less, I don't even want to say volatile, but less fluctuating, less fluid, okay? Some of you guys, what was pulling you out of balance in the past was maybe being with somebody who just had more mood swings than you were able to accommodate, okay? But you're realizing that that's not something that you can build on. It's not something that you can sustain, Okay, that this King of Cups energy might have been an actual person that you had to walk away from because you realize that this is just, they're a great person. They're a King of Cups upright. They're not reversed. King of Cups reversed can be manipulative and moody and, not fun to deal with. This isn't that energy. This is just you realizing that as noble and notable as that kind of person is, that's not the best kind of person for you. Not for the long haul, all right? So, for some of you, what happened is you had to put an end to something that was, I don't know how to say it, like Libra is all about balance, right? Like the ideal is that those two scales are even and they're steady and they're sitting there, right? But the energy that you're having to walk away from is one that's constantly fluctuating, okay? Because the Two of Cups this is a Two of Pentacles, by the way. Two of Coins. And watermelon tourmaline is the world, just talking about needing to put an end to some sort of back and forth. Some sort of, the thing is, it's like there's these, for some of you guys, and be real, it is a, what's the term for that? A quantum entanglement. And what I mean by that is like this person was attracted to you. You guys are attracted to one another. If this King of Cups is a specific person in your life. If not, it might have been a pattern that emerged in a lot of your past relationships. It was attracted to you. You attracted that because you needed the lesson that was in it. Okay? And the lesson that was in it is that you need a lot more steadiness and stability, right? But now that you've learned that lesson, there's been so much energetic entanglement between, I feel like a lot of back and forth. And even if it's not with one person, you know what I mean? It's a lot of the Two of Pentacles is about somebody keeping these two pentacles in balance, but at the same time, I'm not sure he's doing such a good job of keeping himself in balance. For some of you guys, you were being juggled. For some of you, you were trying to juggle. Okay? And I'm not necessarily saying you were trying to juggle two people, but you might have been trying to juggle two ways of life that were not really compatible with one another. Okay? And you're just tired of that. You want balance. Two of Pentacles is about actively having to maintain the balance at all times. You're constantly putting energy into maintaining the balance between these two pentacles. Justice is about letting them be at rest. And that's what you're trying to go for right now. All right? Let me get one more out. And then, oh yeah. The Magical Menagerie is talking to me. Three of Wands, you have already begun to set your sight on new things in the future. And if you're not already realizing that this is the dynamic that you're trying to get away from, Spirit says it's coming into you. It's all coming together. It's all coming together. I feel like this message is coming to you at a point in a process where maybe you needed a little encouragement. Maybe you needed Spirit to come through and say, you're doing the right thing. Things are coming together. But it's also interesting, I just want to point this out for those of you who are really into crystals out there. The one card that has showed up reversed in this entire reading is this Ten of Coins, Tiger's Eye. And your final word is Tiger Iron. Okay? I don't know what it means, but it wanted to be pointed out. Okay? All right. So, yeah, for some of you guys, you're also understanding that this King of Cups energy is just, it's just the way that it's always been, right? Like that was who you were that's who you were conditioned to be attracted to. That's just the kind of person you've always attracted. And that it's just like, it's time for you to start doing something different. Switch it up a little, okay? Allow some new energy to come in. And that, Spirit lifted my heart when I said that. Yeah, they're like, that's exactly what we're doing here, okay? You're making space. You're clearing out these old beliefs, these old patterns. It feels good. It's almost like I can feel the objects being lifted off of your scales, so to speak. And you got the stag. I love this. All right. The stag to me always represents guidance, like a spirit guide, something that appears to you. Sometimes it's signs and synchronicities. Sometimes it's just this little spark in your heart where you're beginning to believe that there's something better in your future. And this is just the way the stag appears to me. It's a lot like if you've seen Harry Potter. It's one of the last 2 movies. They're like hiding out in that cabin in the woods, and the deer Patronus, the stag Patronus, whatever it is, shows up to them. I know that there's a deer and a stag Patronus, that they're different, right? But this is also what Harry Potter calls upon when this is coming in. All right. When we're in that position, we're like, oh my God, I need somebody to save me. And then you realize that you have something within yourself that you can call forth, and that's what's going to save you from the situation. That's what the stag Patronus is telling me right now. Okay. And I know it's not, there's nothing about Patronus on this card, but that's the message that's coming in. All right. Understand that you are very much guided, but each of these cards also talk about the rate of movement, the rate of change, the rate at which new things are coming in your life. Ooh, this says very fast, as with controlled passion. With this 3 of Wands, what this is saying to me is as soon as you fix your intention on the new future that you are ready for, the future that you're like, oh, bing, the light bulb just went off. I understand what is going to be different in my future relationships. I understand what is a true match to me. As soon as you begin, like you set your intentions on that, it's going to manifest really fast. And I like that. All right. This is interesting. All right. Stag is also associated with independence, pride, majesty, and nobility. And obviously male symbol, which is coming out of the way that you guys are stepping into that King of Coins. Rather than being very passive about your own happiness and just accepting what comes to you, you are setting your sights on what is for you. I like that. Stag is a mighty adversary, but he does not act rashly. His actions are considered and purposeful. He indicates that there are many paths to a goal. So that's actually a message coming through from Spirit saying, once you set your sights on this, once you decide, that's not it. Once you decide what it is that you want, know that there are many ways that you can achieve that goal. For some of you guys, what you're leaving behind is this one idea that you've always had about how to achieve happiness in your love life. From the True Love reading cards, which is where we started. Yeah, I'm just really getting this vibe that you guys are wanting to take things very slowly in the future. All right. Meaning that as much as this energy is going to rush in, when it shows up, you're going to be able to say, It needs to unfold in a certain way in order for it to be shown to me as something that is balanced and a good match to me. Something that's going to help you to maintain the balance that you've got going. All right. But this is also very much, for some of you, this is just allowing yourself to receive, because this is who I see you as right now. Okay. But I also keep hearing it's coming. Whoever this person is that is presenting, what's important here, you guys, and I feel like the reading's dragging on, so we'll wrap it up after this. She is cloaked in self-love. That's what pink represents. Somebody wants to offer you something that reflects back to you the self-love that you have invested in yourself at this time. That is how you and the work that you're doing within is going to attract from your external environment something that's in a proper match with, or in a proper alignment with you. So thank you guys so much for being here today. I don't have an extended reading for you, but like I said before, if you want to get a personal, you can hit me up at the info below. Also, please do hit that like button before you go, if in fact you did like the video. All right. Thanks for being here. Take care.